Welcome to Nexus Tech. For our very first deep dive, we are tackling something brand new, something that sounds amazing on the surface, but it's got a dark side. We're talking about vibe coding. It's being sold as the next big thing, a total game changer, but as we're about to find out, it comes with some serious hidden costs.
Just think about that for a second. What if you could build a complex application without writing a single line of traditional code? You just describe the vibe of what you want. You talk to an AI, and a fully functional app just appears. It sounds like science fiction, doesn't it? Well, guess what? It's already here.
And this is the dream they're selling us. It's the ultimate promise of AI productivity. Companies, big ones like Google with their new AI Studio, are saying you can go from just a simple idea, a prompt, to a real working app in minutes. This is the hype, and it's what we're here to unpack today.
So let's start with that promise. What are these tools actually claiming they can do for you? Well, it's all about making development faster, easier, and more intuitive than ever before.
Okay, and this is where it gets really wild. Take a look at how Google's AI Studio pulls this off. It's not just spitting out code, it's building an entire experience for you. You can tell it to build something that uses video and text, and it'll automatically wire up the right AI models, like Gemini and Veo. You can literally, and I mean literally, click on a button in your app's preview and just type, "Make this button green," and poof, it's green. It even handles all the boring, annoying stuff like API keys for you. It's designed to feel like magic.
But here's where the story takes a very sharp, very dark turn. Because behind that slick, magical interface, there is a massive, glaring problem. The speed, the convenience, it comes at a staggering cost. And that cost is security.
So some researchers over at a cybersecurity firm called Escape Security decided to, poke around a little. They analyzed over 5,600 publicly available apps that were built using these exact vibe coding methods.
And the results, they are frankly terrifying. Out of those apps, they found more than 2,000 critical vulnerabilities. We're not talking about small bugs here. We're talking about exposed secret keys, private user data just sitting out in the open. And the most shocking part, most of these weren't even locked down. They were wide open for anyone on the internet to find, no password needed. These apps are, by default, radically insecure.
So, how does this even happen? Well, this case study just lays it all out perfectly. A researcher asked one of the most advanced AI models out there, Sonnet 4.5, to build a secure app with two-factor authentication. First, the AI built it with no rate limit whatsoever, meaning a hacker could just guess the code over and over again, millions of times a second. When the researcher asked it to fix that, it added a limit based on an IP address, which is, completely useless. And then it gets even crazier. Push further, the model started hallucinating problems that didn't even exist and actually made the code worse trying to fix them.
The guy who ran the study, Kevin Johnson, he didn't pull any punches. His conclusion was blunt, and it's a powerful one. The AI models that power these tools are simply not capable of writing secure code right now, not even if an expert is holding their hand and telling them exactly what to do.
Okay, so the code's a security nightmare. We get it. But at least it makes you faster, right? I mean, that's the entire sales pitch. Well, this brings us to the second huge paradox of vibe coding, and honestly, this one might be even more surprising. Check this out. A serious study by a group called Metra had experienced professional developers work on real-world projects. And here's the paradox. Afterwards, the developers felt like they'd been way more productive. They estimated they were about 20% faster using the AI tools. But the data, the actual time it took them, it told the exact opposite story. They were actually 19% slower than just coding it all by hand. There's this huge gap between how fast they felt and how fast they actually were.
So why? What in the world is going on here? Well, the study points to 4 big reasons. There's something they call prompt purgatory, where you're just stuck in this endless loop of telling the AI to fix things, which takes forever. The AI also constantly forgets what you're doing, so you have to keep re-explaining the whole project. Then there's false confidence. Developers just trust the AI's code even when it's subtly wrong. And finally, you lose a ton of time just trying to make the AI's messy code actually fit into the rest of your project.
All right, so we have insecure code that actually makes experts slower. It sounds pretty bleak, but look, this technology isn't going away. Not a chance. So the real question is, how do we live with it? How do we use these incredibly powerful tools without falling into these very obvious, very dangerous traps? Let's look at what the research says. By analyzing thousands of developers, a few key themes have emerged. The big takeaway is that the developer's job is fundamentally changing. You're not just using a tool anymore, you're becoming a co-designer with the AI. And surprise, surprise, the biggest pain points are exactly what we've been talking about. The nightmare of debugging AI code, its unreliability, and the massive time sink of having to review every single thing it produces.
So what can we actually do about it? Well, from all this pain, a clear set of best practices is starting to form. And it all boils down to one simple, powerful idea, a zero-trust policy. You have to assume that every single line of code the AI writes is broken or insecure until you, the human, prove otherwise. That means you need automated tests, you need code checkers, and most importantly, you have to manually review everything. You are the last line of defense.
Look, vibe coding is just one piece of this giant, fast-moving puzzle. The entire world of software and AI is changing at a breakneck pace. To stay ahead of the curve and really understand what's coming next, make sure you subscribe to Nexus Tech. We'll be right here breaking it all down for you.
So after all that, we're left with a pretty fundamental question. Is vibe coding a powerful new copilot that's going to unlock creativity? Or is it a dangerous shortcut that just trades real security and quality for a false sense of speed? The evidence we have right now says it's a bit of both, and the new challenge for all of us is learning how to tell the difference. Thanks for joining us.